What's up, everyone? It's Rich Brecklin here with eXp Realty, and welcome to another episode of Arizona Life. In today's video, I'm going to go over some of the best suburbs to call home in the Phoenix metro area. Now, if you are thinking or considering making Arizona your home, please let me know. Send me a text, an email, a phone call. Let me know in the comments. Happy to help. I have so many people moving here from other places, and I love waking up to those emails. Rich, please help. We want to do what you did, which is, we moved from 1,600 miles away to call Phoenix, Arizona home, and have so many other clients doing the same thing. And it's really a really fun part of my job, my career, and helping others learn what there is to love about living in Arizona. So let's kick it off. We're gonna go over, I'm gonna go over some of the best suburbs to call home right here in Phoenix Metro. And I'm gonna use information and show you the websites from bestplaces. I think it's .net. I'm gonna go niche.com. Some people call it niche, I call it niche. I don't know what is right or wrong. I'm also gonna go over the median home prices, and I'm going to go over your commute time to Phoenix. Now, understanding not everyone works in Phoenix, but just to give you a general idea and to kind of hope you put in perspective, all right, here's exactly how far this is, what it looks like on your average commute time. I know I was wearing this shirt in the last video. I swear I do wash it. I own more than a purple shirt. I don't know if I own really anything other than V-necks. However, sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with it. But let's get to it, enough of this nonsense. So we are going to start off with Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, I've covered Scottsdale a little bit in some other videos I've done, but Scottsdale continues to be a huge draw for so many people. And if you look here on niche or niche.com, you can see why. This is all according to them. This isn't data I put together, but they're ranked in A overall. Public schools are an A, housing is a C+. They say it's good for families, crime and safety is a C+, nightlife, diversity, weather, health and fitness. But it is it's a fairly large city, right around 250,000 people, give or take. Now that number's probably growing just because this entire area is growing as a whole. But yeah, it's Scottsdale kind of has it all, depending on again what it is you're looking for. But they do have tons of shopping, tons of nightlife, great restaurants, luxury homes. Their average home price for Scottsdale is going to be higher than, say, your average price in Gilbert or Queen Creek. And one of the big things I look at when I'm looking at a place to call home is the crime and safety. Now, you can use the FBI's uniform crime reporting, but according to niche.com, here they're rating it a C+. And they're looking at these crimes, property crimes and violent crimes. So if you're looking at violent, according to niche, they're at 1.2 per 100,000, which is below the national average. So if that's something that's important to you, this is a good resource to use. Now, if you're looking at bestplaces.net, you can see some other data points. Now, it's nice to compare website to website, and data is always changing, so you never know who has the most up-to-date data. So that's why I like to look at multiple websites, also talking to people, being out in the field and getting to experience it firsthand. But here you can see the economy, about the unemployment rate, which is lower than U.S. average. You can look at the population, which obviously is 260,000, growing, and it's continuing to grow. So the average commute is 22 minutes. National average is 26. Again, that's going to depend on where you're going. So that's average. And I'd say for my own commute, I don't have a traditional type career where I'm going to the same places. I'm out in the field a lot, so I just throw that out the window for what I do. But a lot of these websites, it's nice where you can see other people's reviews and see what they think, what they feel. Again, take it with a grain of salt what people are saying, but it is nice to kind of see other people's perspective, whether it fits you or whether it is applicable or not, but just kind of get a general idea. I don't put a ton of weight into all reviews, but if I start seeing the same thing repeated over and over again, then that kind of helps me in my decision making there. But again, I don't put a ton of weight into that. Now, when it comes to home prices in Scottsdale, I'm sure you know that Scottsdale brings a higher sales price than a lot of the suburbs of Phoenix. So we're looking at the average home price in Scottsdale sold over the last 6 months or so. Here we're towards the end of 2021. You're right about 1.1, almost 1.2 million. And if you look at the median, you're right around 875. So yeah, homes they're a little bit more expensive. Now, depending on, I guess, where it is you're coming from, and they last about 25 days on market. So one, they're expensive. Two, they do not last on market long. Now, if you look here on, this is on my website, but if you want luxury in Scottsdale, you can find it all the way up to this property here on Rio Verde that is almost $20 million. However, if you want to look at what's available that's not quite that, well, those are rentals. Even though their average is close to that 1.2, median of 875, but if you really, really want to be in Scottsdale, call Scottsdale home. You can find some affordable properties. It just you may have to be a little flexible on the amenities you want. But there's one right here for $90,000 on Garfield, offered by Keller Williams. So if you want a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 720 square foot condo, then you can find that also. But yeah, Scottsdale, continues to be a high draw, and again, it checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people. Now, if you live in Scottsdale, you work in Phoenix, and you need to work at 8 a.m., it's going to take you 20 to 40 minutes to go that 12 miles, depending, again, where you live in Phoenix or where you work in Phoenix. So give yourself an hour. Again, it depends a lot on the traffic on the 202 if that's the route you're going to take. Now, if you get off work at 5 o'clock downtown Phoenix or in Phoenix and you're heading home to Scottsdale, again, it's going to take you 20 to 45 minutes, depending on flow traffic. Hopefully there's no accidents. But again, that's going to be your commute if you live in Scottsdale, work in Phoenix. Let's head to the next one. Next, we're headed to Gilbert. And if you follow my channel for long enough, you will know Gilbert is it is my favorite place. I try not to be too biased, but it wouldn't make sense for me to live somewhere where I didn't think was awesome. So I'm sorry if you're tired of me talking about Gilbert, but it really is that great for me and my family to call home. And according to niche.com, a lot of other people agree as well. So they give it an overall rating of an A. Public schools A, housing B+. Niche.com says good for families, jobs, cost of living, it's a little high because of home price rising, crime and safety, population nearing that they're saying 243. I think when that next count comes out, that is going to be above 250, just with the influx of people here. There is some new construction here. It's a huge draw. Now, that median home value, I don't think that is correct any longer. But if you look down here, there's tons of different rankings. Niche.com, number 2 out of 57, best suburbs to raise a family. Number 3 out of 57, best suburbs to live in Arizona. Number 5 out of 57, best suburbs to buy a house. And if we hop on over to best places, again, the numbers are a little bit different, but that's why it's good, again, to look at multiple sites. Population 257, median income per household of 81, median home price 476. Now that is going to be more accurate. But yeah, a lot of good info here on Gilbert here on best places. But yeah, failure to lunch, I don't know what that means. Yeah, so some interesting rankings on some of these websites. But again, look at the reviews, check those out. But people love Gilbert. We love living here, and we really get that community feeling of Gilbert. We have every amenity we want. It's still close enough where they might not have a mountain range in Gilbert I'm going to go hike at, but I can head to Mesa or Queen Creek. And still, it's not too far from Phoenix, where if we want to go into Phoenix, we can. So the average sold home price in Gilbert over the last 6 months, right around 586. The median has jumped up a ton from last year. We're at 515, pretty crazy. The lowest is 300 recently, and the highest is 3.5 million. And homes are lasting for 2 to 3 weeks tops. So yeah, if you're looking to buy a home in Gilbert, definitely reach out to me ahead of time so you can get that plan set up so you're not missing out on all these homes. And yeah, you're not sitting there wishing you're living in Gilbert, instead you're living somewhere else. Yeah, and when we look at Gilbert, I mean, there's a lot of, there's, depending on what your budget is again and what's affordable to you versus what's affordable to me, but there are some really great listings here. Again, depending on what it is you're looking for. But if you can spend the 400 to 600 range, it's going to be competitive because that feels like it fits a lot of other people's budgets. But you can get a nice house in that price range. Again, the median price of Gilbert has risen over the last 18 months, and it's probably going to continue to do so. But for $480, you can get a nice 3-bed, 2-bath, and that seems to be about the going rate for a 3-bed, 2-bath. Again, it varies on the community within Gilbert. If you're in Seville, Val Vista Lakes, Power Ranch, so it really comes down to the amenities you're looking for and your budget. But you can find a really nice house in Gilbert. Now, if you live in Gilbert and you're working in Phoenix, if you get off at 5, predict it taking around 30 to 55 minutes. So, again, depending on traffic heavily, and if depending on where you're at in Gilbert, where you're working in Phoenix, get on that 60 and a 10 can be a nightmare at times, especially heading out of Phoenix because everyone else is going this way too. So plan on 45 minutes, I would say, on average to get home from work. Now, if you need to be at work by 8, I would leave at 7 because on average, it's going to take you, again, 30 to 55 minutes to make it from Gilbert to Phoenix. You're not the only one heading there, so it does get busy. But if that's a commute you can live with and you want to live in Gilbert and work in Phoenix, well, that's how long it's going to be. That's how long you're going to be living in your car, as you're heading into work. So plan on 2 hours a day in your car. And when I put it like that, it doesn't sound that enjoyable. But we love Gilbert. A lot of great amenities here. A lot of people choosing to call Gilbert home. That's why Gilbert wins the awards that it does. It has a lot to offer. But if Gilbert is not for you, let's head over to Chandler. So we are in Chandler, Arizona, right next to Gilbert. And a lot of people are like, all right, Gilbert, Chandler, a lot of similarities, but some differences. So for one, Chandler is a little bit older, a little bit larger, and it is pretty much built out at this point. But if you look here at niche.com, it's still, it rates really well. An overall grade of an A. Public schools have a good rating, housing, good for families according to niche.com, jobs, outdoor activities, excuse me. The weather, obviously, the weather here is freaking awesome, except for the 4 months you're in a sauna, but I'd rather be in a sauna than in a freezer. Niche.com says population 252, that's slightly off. Median home value of 300, it's slightly higher than that now, but it is going to be a little bit less than Gilbert. So you can save a little bit of money, on your median home price buying in Chandler than you can in Gilbert. But Chandler is kind of known for being like a tech hotbed. A lot of tech, IT, AI type careers and businesses are flocking to Chandler, and it's such a huge draw. So I think that is also bringing in a lot of people wanting to call Chandler home because that is where the career is pulling them to. Now, if we hop on over to best places, shows a population of over 260 at 265, median home income of 72, and median home price of 425. Now, I would say when you're looking at bestplaces.net versus niche.com, I like the numbers for best places. I feel like they're more accurate when it comes to the home price, median, and things like that. But niche.com, you still get a lot of really good information about other aspects. And then as we look at home prices in Chandler, so again, we're looking here at the average sales price of $556. The median has gone up recently. We're at $499, And again, those homes are lasting 2 to 3 weeks tops. So like Gilbert, people love Chandler. People are flocking to Chandler. Both very, very similar cities, and both very, very popular. Looking here at what's for sale now, you can still find a nice home under that average sales price. And there are some really, really great neighborhoods in Chandler. There's some cool things. Again, like Gilbert, there's some awesome parks. We love them. There's just so much to do in Chandler and Gilbert. We like their downtown. So again, it depends on what it is you're looking for and your budget, but it's a really, it's a pretty cool spot. And then if you live in Chandler, but you're gonna work in Phoenix, again, you're looking at that 30 to 50 minute, give or take, commute time, and you're gonna be experiencing the same heading out of Phoenix into Chandler. So, all in all, it's about the average for most of these, East Valley communities if you're living in Phoenix. Again, depending on how far. Now, if you're going to be in Queen Creek, Santan, obviously your time is going to be additional travel time. Next, we're heading to one of the most expensive suburbs of Phoenix, and that is Paradise Valley. Now, Paradise Valley, well, it's paradise. So obviously, it's wealthy, it's expensive, but it is also extremely nice. And why wouldn't it be? So here we are on niche.com. It's got an overall rating of an A. Public schools are an A. Good for families, according to them, is an A. Housing is a C. That's probably because they're crazy expensive. But it is, I'm trying to say, now the population is only around 14,000 people, give or take. And median income, according to Best Places, is right around 135,000. Again, take that with a grain of salt. According to them, the median home price is $2.4 million, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But Paradise Valley, it is a wealthy and affluent area. You'll find a lot of, maybe famous people, professional athletes, a lot of people who live there. You won't find a home there most likely for under $1 million, $2 million. Be prepared to your home price to have 2 commas. I do not live there. You can help me live there, but it's it would be a place that would be a huge draw. It's the type of Arizona homes that you see in catalogs, in magazines, on HGTV with the luxury properties. That is what you are going to find in Paradise Valley. Now, when it comes to the median home price in Paradise Valley, again, this is over the last 6 months of solds, and we're near the end of 2021, but the median is right around $2.7 million, and the average over $3 million. Now, the highest price sold just recently was almost $16 million. So that's crazy. That's a lot of house. It's a beautiful home, but if that's what you're looking for, Paradise Valley is going to be that spot for you. Now, the lowest sold home in the last 6 months was just over $1 million. So if you don't have a budget, in the $1, $2, $3, $4 million, Paradise Valley is probably not going to be the one for you. But if you do, Paradise Valley is definitely a great avenue to explore, to get that luxury feel and be in that luxury community. And Paradise Valley being, just, northeast of Phoenix, you're still close enough to everything, but you're almost a little bit pulled away in your own just little world of wealthy friends and neighbors. So you can see here, there's some really nice properties. There's also properties that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that is that expensive. But if you are looking for that luxury, that unique property, Paradise Valley is definitely going to be that spot for you. If you live in Paradise Valley and you work in Phoenix, well, it's still going to take you about the same amount of commute time. You might shave a little bit of time off, but you're looking at that 20 to 50 minute range, give or take, depending on which route you're going. But generally, it's going to be about the same, and about the same headed home as well. So I don't know what people in Paradise Valley typically do for careers other than play pro sports. But if you're one who's still slaving away at that 9 to 5, that's how long it is going to take you to get to and from if you live in Paradise Valley. And finally, we are headed west to Litchfield Park. I know I get a lot of heat because everyone says, oh, all you ever talk about is East Valley. And that's not true. I still love my West Valley people. I do talk a little bit more about the East Valley. So if you do want to see some more West Valley stuff, let me know. Let me know exactly what it is you want to see, and I'll be better, I promise, about doing more content showing the West Valley. But I love the West Valley. I'll be better, I swear. But we're heading to Litchfield Park. So according to niche.com, number 2 in the best suburbs to buy a home in Phoenix. So not bad if niche.com says so. And they give an overall rating of an A, good public schools, housing, families, jobs, outdoor activities, nightlife, diversity, weather. So really good ratings when it comes to living in Litchfield Park. It doesn't have a ton of people calling Litchfield Park home. So if you're looking for maybe a smaller feel, Litchfield Park would be the good spot for you there. Number 6 out of 57, according to niche.com, in the best suburb to live in Arizona and to raise a family in, according to niche.com. On bestplaces.net, again, similar data, 6,500 people, give or take. Median home price, $460, median income, 76, median age, if that matters to you, doesn't matter to me. But yeah, you can see just, not a lot of reviews on Litchfield, but the ones that are there are positive. So when it comes to the home price in Litchfield Park, well, median recent 6 months, you're looking at $490 with an average of $543, the lowest of $305, and the highest at right around $1.5 million. Now there are some pretty cool homes here in Litchfield. Again, that desert vibe. I love the West Valley because you do have more of that desert feeling, and you're also close to some other communities. You're not too far from Goodyear, Straight Mountain Range. That's always nice to go to. But you can still get a really nice house for under $500,000. Now, if you are living in Litchfield and working in Phoenix, well, it's going to take you around 35 to 40 minutes to an hour and 20 to get from Litchfield to Phoenix. So it does get pretty busy there on the 10 if that's the way you're heading. So again, take that into consideration. If you work in Phoenix, do you really want to make, an hour each way commute back to Litchfield Park? So again, that's going to be a question you're going to have to ask yourself. So all in all, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the places I mentioned above when it comes to calling home. So if you have more questions or, if you're ready to start your search, please reach out. My contact information is below. I would love it if you would consider subscribing, liking this video, hit that notification bell. That way every time I put up a new video. But if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. This is Rich Brecklin, eXp Realty, Arizona Life.